let me get this straight. In 2020, we had record stock highs. At the same time, we had record deaths due to the pandemic and COVID-19. At the same time, the wealthiest of our country, the 1%, had tremendous multi-trillion-dollar gains in their wealth. But on the other hand, we have 30 to 40 million Americans on the brink of being evicted. Now put yourself in the shoes of the 1%, of the very wealthy. Or if you're just an investor in the stock market today, what the hell would you want to happen in 2021? The same thing. So the same thing means the same conditions. What does that mean? The continuing pandemic, COVID-19, escalating deaths, escalating hospital stays, escalating unemployment, escalating the wealth gap between the rich and poor. Is that what you want? If you're a normal human being, probably not. But if you're the 1% or the ultra wealthy, that's exactly what you want. Because they think differently than you and me. Now, Christmas is just past. Did you want something for Christmas? Did you really want something? Now imagine that feeling of wanting something, okay? If you don't have that crazy want for that purse or that toy or that PS5, think back when you were a kid and imagine right now that you want something so bad for Christmas. You're like, Santa, please give that to me. Now take that feeling and multiply it by 100 times, because that's how much the wealthy, the ultra wealthy, love money, and love power. That's how they got there. And just look at their actions. They've made $1.8 trillion in 1 year. The Forbes 500, okay? The 500 wealthiest people on earth, they made $1.8 trillion in 1 freaking year. And are they helping the people who've suffered the most while they benefited the most? Absolutely not. Just the opposite. They're doubling down on what they're doing in the greedy practices and making as much money as freaking possible. What we're witnessing right now is not only a generational event, it's something that probably doesn't even come once in 100 years. The destruction and transfer of wealth is absolutely mind-boggling, astronomical. It's happening right now. Not only is there wealth being transferred from the middle to lower class to upper classes, there's actually a permanent divide that is separating the lower classes from the wealthy right now, which is going to place a huge portion of this country, will shift it from middle class to lower class and lower class into poverty. And this is happening right before our eyes. And I'm going to get into more of this, but it is a once in a century type of event. And it's super scary, and I want to share my thoughts, my findings with you. There's so much, I don't even know where to begin. I'm going to skim over some of the stuff, but we could dive in deeper in any part that you wish. So just let me know in the comments what you want to know more about. First of all, the multi-trillion-dollar stimulus and money printing. 95% of that has gone to helping big corporations who are already rich and powerful to get even more powerful, even more wealthy. And at the same time, all the powerful people associated with the companies, they are benefiting immensely. Just for example, the, $900 billion, was it 900 billion or 600 billion? I'm not sure exact amount, but the hundreds of billions of dollars are going to go to small businesses. Everyone knows that more than 50% of those funds went to just 5% of the applicants. And those 5% were big businesses, okay? And they're tied to, guess who? Politicians and other very wealthy individuals. That's just one small example. There's tons of money that's getting diverted from the needy, all the small businesses, all the middle class, all the lower class, people losing jobs, all the people who are unemployed, all that's getting diverted to the wealthy, okay? And it's happening right before our eyes. We're getting happy because we might get, $600, but $600, that is bullshit chump change, okay? Because the wealthy, they're making millions off of this, while the regular people are freaking begging for $600 or potentially $2,000, which is nothing. Our government is now becoming totalitarian and they are locking down all small and medium-sized businesses, okay? We have a tsunami of small businesses that are going to die. More than 50% right now are permanently closed or may permanently close any month now. That means that this whole landscape, the American dream of starting your own business, building something from the ground up, just from hard work, is now being pulled right from under us. And small business people, just like me, they put their blood, sweat, and tears and life savings into this. And once their businesses collapse and die because all the restrictions, all the excess costs, the crime, all that madness, there's no way they can recover financially. And most of them will now be in a position of having to live and beg from their family and friends and the government. So we have now a landscape littered with small to medium-sized businesses that are dead. Now you add on to that 20 million plus unemployed Americans right now, many of which will lose their job forever or have to work part-time or have to take a job that will pay less than their full-time position. The great majority of these 20 million unemployed are semi-skilled to low-skilled, and they may not have the greatest educational background. So what we're seeing right now is the people that are most affected are the most vulnerable. And wait till you hear this. The most shocking thing about all this is not only it's hurting this generation, there's going to be negative ramifications for generations to come. Right now they're doing educational studies and they have found concretely that the lower to middle class kids that are now forced to stay at home are way underperforming their more rich counterparts. So the lower to middle class already have a disadvantage with their schools compared to more educated and more wealthy individuals. Now they're getting knocked down 1 or 2 or 3 rungs because of the current distance learning. Unfortunately, it's just a fact that those who are in the lower to middle class, they do not have all the means, the tools, the computers, the resources to educate their kids at home versus somebody who has a lot more money, a lot more time, a lot more technology, and a lot more education. So later, they're going to be entering a new economic reality where it's already extremely tough and actually going to be a lot more harder than it is now, but they will be shackled with a substandard education. This is going to leave them at a much lower earning capability than even their own parents. So we have a generation now that's coming up, or generations to come, that are going to be making less and less than their parents. And it's going to be a vicious cycle. Where will this all lead? I feel that right now, the way that things are going, unfortunately, it looks like the greater population is going to be relying on the government for their sustenance to take care of them. So this will lead to universal basic income, and I have a video on that here. It's crazy and sad and scary if America will actually become a country where there are strata of social economic levels that we cannot break free from. But that could definitely be the new reality. If you have a substandard education, if you have very limited economic opportunities, if you see your father, your mother, your friends and family all taking government money, what's it going to do to your mentality? And it's not just a few people, it's everyone in that strata, in the economic strata. It's like an economic prison sentence for generations and generations. That's what we're looking at unless we do something about it. The first thing and most important right now is just being aware of where this road is leading. It's a very shocking and scary road, but we have to talk about it, expose it, and share it with others. That may be difficult, especially in these times right now, because so many people are just thinking about themselves, trying to make money, going crazy over Bitcoin, and this is also all part of the plan. Imagine all these retail investors, all these newbie investors, all these people you and I know putting everything they have into investing in these crazy stocks. Just imagine what will happen when everything crashes and they lose everything. Then it's total game over. And that's what this is leading to right now. The end game. Total control. One thing you control is that like button. Why don't you hit that like button and change the world right now? I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you join me on this journey to make a difference in this world. Thank you very much. Take care, guys. Love you.